He needs support. Then jump into water. After some time, he doesn't need that support. He removes that support and swims. So that support what you need is called sabija. You may need a mantra, you may need a form, you may need an idea to hold on to initially. That's called sabija samadhi. Your exchange will come, you don't need that to enter into a higher consciousness. That's called nirvana. So this is an overview of samadhi states. This applies to bhakti yoga, this applies to kriya yoga, this applies to jnana yoga. Okay? So just to summarize, there are two types of samadhi. Samadhi means absorption of the mind. Absorption can happen in anything. At lower level it can happen in money, stock market, cricket, girl, boy. At higher level it has to enter into a higher consciousness. What is called Satchidananda. Okay. That is of two types, Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. Savikalpa is with mind interference, Nirvikalpa is no mind interference. Nirvikalpa itself is of two types, Kevala Nirvikalpa and Sahaja Nirvikalpa. Kevala Nirvikalpa, impressions are not reduced, Sahaja Nirvikalpa, impressions are gone. But Samadhi itself is not realization, it has to go to a stage of Sahaja Samadhi where you are in a state of constant communion with the higher level reality, and that is called Sahaja Samadhi. Savikalpa Samadhi itself, there are 6 types: Savitarka, Nirvitarka, Savichara, Nirvichara, Santa, Sasvita. Depending on the gross to subtle to the causal, you go through stages of Samadhi. And Samadhi itself is of 2 types: Jada Samadhi, Chetana Samadhi. Jada Samadhi is unconscious Samadhi and it doesn't lead to an object. One example of unconscious Samadhi is sleep. Sleep is unconscious Samadhi. Okay? Samadhi is sleep with awareness. So you should know the difference. Jada Samadhi, Chetana Samadhi. And Samadhi requires support. It's called dharana. Support can be mantra, an idea, a breath, or body movement, whatever is that. It's called sabija. When there is no movement, it's called nirvija. So Samadhi, what Samadhi gives is a very, very clear clarity will emerge. Before Samadhi, the world is real and God is unreal. God is a concept. After Samadhi, God alone is reality and world becomes unreal. This is an experiential state, not an understanding. It's a deep realization. The world is Maya and God alone is reality. The self alone is reality, world is Maya. This is after Samadhi. Before Samadhi, world is real, self or God is a concept. This a complete shift will happen, and the person will be completely transformed. A human being will become divine being in the process of Samadhi. So this is just an overview of Samadhi. If there are any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, you can close my book. Any questions?
Okay. Practice state of Sahaja Samadhi. You have to practice with the person.
Not required.
So, mind is focused on creativity.
Let me repeat your question. Is attaining Sahaja Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is a prerequisite?
Yes.
Is the question?
Yes.
See, what does Nirvikalpa Samadhi do? Nirvikalpa Samadhi does Chitta Shuddhi, means purification of your subconscious impressions. That is the effect of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It just removes and purifies your subconscious. But there are very rare gifted souls whose Chitta is quite pure. They don't go through Nirvikalpa Samadhi. They straight away into Sahaja Samadhi. And Sri Shankaracharya doesn't give much importance to Samadhi. He just gives importance to Jnana. But for Jnana, you have to be qualified. Jnana will not come to everybody, right? Because most of our minds are in state of impure. So Sri Shankaracharya says, only thing which is required is Jnana. Get the Jnana and be free, he says. Okay, but he says, before you get Jnana, you need to have seven qualities: Shama, Dama, Tidiksha, Prati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshatva. All the supreme qualities are required. For which Chitta-Shuddhi is required? For which all these are there? Is clear?
Practicing
Practicing?
practicing of meditation leading to Niruddha Samadhi, should we practice?
Question is not clear.
Practice meditation or not?
See, daily,
Yeah.
no, daily we practice.
Ah,
And it will lead to Niruddha Samadhi.
okay.
But in Niruddha Samadhi state, so we have experience. So even if you come out, all the time that experience is there.
Is the experience there or not
That
there?
experience will be there all the time.
Okay.
So, but to attain this satisfaction, so we should have experience in
No, you are asking the question. Sahaja Samadhi to experience, you need to experience Nirvikalpa Samadhi.
yeah.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. This is required, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is required for some level of sadhakas. Whereas there are some level of sadhakas who don't go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, they go to straight away Sahaja Samadhi because their already chitta is pure, because of their past life or whatever it is. Okay, so that's why Shri Shankara doesn't put Nirvikalpa Samadhi as a prerequisite for Jnana. Okay, he puts a prerequisite for qualities: Shama, Dama, Diksha, Shraddha, Pratishtha. Whether Nirvikalpa Samadhi is required, Shankara doesn't. There's no importance for given for the Jnana. Yes.
Tell us something about this Shankara saying, Satsanga today, Yoga today,
So the question is, Satsangatve, Nisangatvam, Nisangatve, Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve, Nischalatatvam, Nischalatatve, Jivan Mukti. Okay. Satsanga leads to Nisanga. What is Sat? Sat means truth. Satsanga can be interpreted in different levels. Satsanga means a group of spiritual aspirants who are focused towards mukti can be satsanga, one level, right? As sadhakas, it's a group of people together who are all focusing on Atma-Jnana. That can be satsanga. They are not realized, but it's a group, good company. In our life, for we need a lot of anything, we need company, right? Nobody learns smoking by himself. He learns in the company. Nobody learns drinking alcohol. He needs a company. And when he drinks alcohol, he needs a company. So similarly, for higher level Atma Vichar, we need a company, and that group which is involved in that activity is called satsanga. It one level. But that's not just satsanga. Satsanga means, Sat means truth. One who has realized truth. An Atma Gnani, a self-realized person. The presence, in his presence, is called satsanga. When I say satsanga of a group of people, they are not realized people. But it's a good company to have. It will help us to support us. But satsanga, the next question, next level of satsanga is satsanga. One who has realized himself, Atma Gnani, a Sadguru, in his presence, Sangha, in his Sangha, okay, which is called Sadguru Sangha. The third level, Satsanga means, Sat means truth. The truth is not outside. Truth is your inner self, Atma. To take the mind again and mind back into the Atma Vichara and Atma Jnana through self-inquiry or Atma Jnana is called Satsanga. The Satsanga has three meanings, each meaning higher than each other. First level of meaning of Satsanga is a group of people who are sadhakas. Second level of meaning Satsanga is the presence of a Sadguru or realized master to guide. The third level of Satsanga is mind going inwards and going back into Sat, which is your inner self. This is Satsanga. Satsangatve Nisangatva, all attachment will drop. Because when you go to the higher, the lower will drop by itself. When somebody drinks Amrita, nectar, he would not like to taste coffee, tea, milk or even liquor. All lower level tendencies will drop. Nisanga, all attachment will drop. But main attachment which you drop in satsanga is, I'll tell, repeat. Nan, nanembudu, nanalla, ideha, mana, buddhi, nanalla, sachidananda, shivananu nani, shivoham, shivoham, shivoham. Our main sangha is not external people. The husband, wife, the family, business. That's not sangha, main sangha. Our main sangha is we have identified the body very strongly. I am the body. I am the mind. That is the biggest sangha. Okay? And that's a dusanga. Really, this because body is not you. Body is jada. You are not jada. You are chetana. So gradually as you get to Atma Vichara, the detachment from the body will come. The detachment from body and mind will come. That's called Nissanga. Satsangatve Nissangatve. Nissangatve Nirmohatva. Nirmohatva means no attachment. Look at all our attachment in life. All our attachment are related to life because we are attached to a body. Because we consider ourselves as body. I am the body and I am attached to another body. Body requires a body attachment. So when your attachment to the body drops, Nissanga happens. Moha will drop because you will not get attached to anything which is body, physical. Nirmohatve Nishchala Tattva. When the moha drops, Nishchala Tattva, Nishchala is the self, the supreme reality, Brahman, that's Nishchala Tattva. So now you are dropping what you are not, dropping attachment to what is not worthy, then what remains is what is worthy, the supreme reality, Atma and Brahman. So realization that I am one with Brahman, I am Brahman, that happens. That's called Nishchala. Nishchala means there is no movement there. It's stillness, serenity. What is it? Nirakara, Nirvikalpa, no movement there. That's called Nishchala. Nishchala Tattva Jivan Mukti. And then you enter into Jivan Mukti or liberation. Liberation means, I said you, Sahaja Samadhi. This is the formula which is given by Sri Shankaracharya. Any questions?
Only meditation can move for body, or without meditation also by realization or understanding.
And I told you there are two margas, Jnana Marga and Yoga Marga. Yoga Marga involves meditation, Yoga Marga involves so many activities. Thus I told you two things, path of Ganesha and path of Muruga. Right? So depending on your level of evolution, you will choose one of them. In path of Karma Marga, meditation will come into picture. Samadhi will come into picture.
What is the difference between Sankhya Yoga and Jnana Yoga?
See, Sankhya Yoga is actually Loke Asmin Dvivida Nishta, Jnana Yogena Sankhyana, Karma Yogena Yoginam. So, Jnana Yoga, the name of Jnana Yoga is called Sankhya Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Sankhya Yoga stands for Jnana Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. But over a period of time, philosophers came into picture who deviated from this principle. They called Sankhyas. Okay, they said there are two principles called Purusha and Prakriti. There are 24 tattvas. They brought in a concept of duality, Dvaita. Whereas Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya Yoga means Jnana Yoga. Sankhya Yoga stands for Jnana Yoga. Any other questions?
It's not a question, a request. Is it possible to start this after 6:30 because they will come from office?
Yes.
So our office is getting close on 6 o'clock. Reaching here 6 is very difficult. That is why I can say most of the people are here. So you can start a little late. You will have to be think of it, sir. Possible?
Yeah, we can discuss that. So, are there any more questions?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
You said Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Can you attain Jnana Yoga without Karma Yoga?
No, that's what I'm saying. Can you means not, it depends on the individual. Okay? Depends on their level of evolution, the past karmas, past life sadhana. So, person can be in different stages. We cannot say, we cannot generalize the statement. So, there are some people like Ramana Maharshi, he straight away went into Jnana Yoga, straight, came over. Okay? So, It all depends on individual evolution. Right? And we cannot judge what stage what somebody is. One day Shankaracharya was passing through a village. And in that village, they got a boy who was 10 years old. The father and mother of the boy said, told Shankaracharya, please bless him. This boy is an idiot. Okay? He is not able to speak. 10 years old, he is not able to speak. Then Shri Shankara asked him, who are you? What's your name? Then he said, Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Nam. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. The first word he spoke is that. That boy, 10 years he didn't speak because he said all the guys nobody will understand. They are all useless guys. Okay? He doesn't remember now, he's over. Right? Okay? There are people like that. We can't say who is at what stage of evolution. But depending on your evolution, you have to choose your path. How that I can say that.
Both are different sides of the same coin, yoga. See, you gave an example of Vigneshwara and Subramania. Even in Vigneshwara case, which you attributed to Jnana Yoga, there was a kriya of going around father and mother.
No, see, these are all stories for illustration. Don't take it very literally.
Okay.
Don't take anything very literally. To make people understand, give example. I will give. Ganesha could just sit there and do namaskar also. Sit there, just mental namaskar also. Or just sit there also. But for people, we can't. People, you give some illustration now.
To attain jnana, there should be some amount of kriya or karma.
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on which stage of evolution somebody is in. Okay? Not everybody in sitting is all at the same stage of evolution. Not every two individuals are at the same stage of evolution. They might have done this kriya now. They might have done it in past life. But we don't know. Right? Whether purification has happened in this life or past life, we don't know. Depending on where the evolution is, they can take path and go for.
Can you do meditation without the 8 steps of yoga? 8 parts of yoga?
Can you do meditation without 8 parts of yoga?
Yeah.
Yeah, people do. People do. See, the 8 parts of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Now, today, modern day world, people, nobody has a time for a first step, second step, third step, fourth step. They say meditation class. Everywhere there is a meditation class. Right? Pay 50 rupees, 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, depending on number of money, you can learn meditation. Now, will they get enlightenment or they get liberated? I don't know. But whether meditation can be done, yes. Go look at Parvati, there will be one board who says meditation, I'll teach meditation. Right? Whether meditation lead to mukti or enlightenment, I don't know. But learn meditation is technique. Okay? But meditation technique is mastery of the mind can be attained. This again, I can't, it's all subjective. Depending on who is what level of evolution. There's no judgment by looking at a person, this person is at this level of evolution.
How can we make out which is the right path?
That you told, your inner guidance, inner judgment. You will get attracted to that. Right? You will naturally feel a tendency to gravitate toward that.
Jnana Yoga includes that is change of perception.
No, Jnana Yoga doesn't involve change of perception. See, the change of perception, all those things are related to physical and mental level. Jnana Yoga straight away touches the buddhi, intellect. Buddhi, intellect involves interpretation, not perception. Okay? See, I'll just give you the difference between interpretation and perception. The earth, you get up in the morning, sun is going around the earth. So this is what is the experience. Now somebody comes and tells you, no, earth is going around the sun. Has your perception changed? Perception is the same. Next day morning also, sun will go around the earth. But your wisdom has changed. Your interpretation has changed. So your life will change accordingly. So similarly in Jnana Yoga, a clear understanding will lead to change in the interpretation. Buddhi is the master of this body-mind vehicle. That interpretation changes. When the master changes, all the servants will change. I sense. Not changing since they don't change their characteristics. But interpretation will change. So the world will appear like Maya and self alone will appear like reality. So that for whom Buddhi, for the Atma, the individual self. So there's no perception change in that level. The perception change happens many times in the Karma Yoga path. Because of different levels of breathing practice and meditation and all those things, some perception change happens. Whereas Jnana Yoga is very clear understanding at the Buddhi level. Okay? And so a slight difference I want to bring in between Jnana Yoga, Atma Jnana and Atma Vichara. Atma Jnana is input given to you, Atma Vichara is the inquiry done by you. So Atma Jnana has to culminate in Atma Vichara, and Atma Vichara will lead to liberation.
Jnana Marga, siddhis don't play any role.
Jnana Marga, everything you discard as Maya. Okay? Siddhis are mostly happen in the Yoga Marga. Okay? Yoga Marga, the siddhis are very often, but there is a lot of caution which is told in any of these Yoga Sutras. Patanjali speaks about Ashta Siddhis. The third chapter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra is called, it's about the Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti means relation or Siddhis. So the last word of caution, what Patanjali says, so I have told about all Siddhis. I have told with the only purpose that these can happen in your path, but don't get attached to that. If you don't get attached to siddhis, then what happens? You should enter into next level of realization. It's called Dharma Mega Samadhi. Dharma Mega Samadhi, I didn't elaborate. Dharma Mega Samadhi is what is called cosmic consciousness. And beyond that, Kaivalya Samadhi or aloneness. Kaivalya Samadhi is liberation. Cosmic consciousness or God consciousness is even lower stage. Yeah. Sahaja Samadhi is given liberation. No. He used to go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, but he lived in Sahaja Samadhi. He used to go to Nirvikalpa Samadhi once in a while. Any other questions? Let us just close. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Pratyorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you.
We have had a very illuminative discourse on the topic of Samadhi. At least for this period of 1 hour and 15 minutes, I think there was Samadhi in Samadhi. For most of us, even it might have been intermittent, but it was absorbed in the concept of Samadhi. So taking us from multiplicity to unity, Sri Prabhuji has described the journey of evolution, outward development, absorption in the outer world, the feeling that the outer world is real, body, mind, intellect. We are the body, mind and intellect. That belief. From there we move to involution, the inner journey. So the steps on this journey, the 2 paths. Bhagavad Gita describes that there are only 2 paths, the Karma Marga, which includes activity. So Bhakti, Kriya, any other yoga that we have, Ashtanga Yoga, everything comes under Karma Marga. And the Jnana Marga is a direct entry into the state of enlightenment. With wonderful examples, stories, parables, Sri Prabhuji has taken us through these concepts, thrown a light, I think cleared up a lot of confusion in the minds of people. We attend so many satsangs, we read so many books, so all concepts get jumbled up. Our very concept of what is Jnana Marga will be a confused picture. What is karma, bhakti, yoga, everything becomes a jumbled picture in the mind. I think all that has been sick bits of that has been untangled. So a very wonderful discourse. Let us offer our pranams to Sri Prabhuji for his deep wisdom. We will also offer a Pushpa Vrishti clap. Angels shall bring blossoms upon the enlightened. Friends, tomorrow we have a talk by Sri H.A. Jaisimha, Human Resources